All right, so we are on another episode of the MC Show. I'm joined here by Daniel. I'm gonna have him introduce himself, but I just want to say I was scrolling on Twitter, and as I do, I'm just looking around and I see your game. And what stuck out about your game is the art. Like I just love the pixel fish art that goes around. And once again, I'll let you introduce the game, but I seen you have a really, really good following. And I felt like that was more intriguing versus the game that I randomly seen. So please introduce yourself so we can hop into this conversation.
Yeah, sure. So first, thanks for having me. I'm Daniel Santalla. I'm a developer from Mexico. I've been developing games for around 10 years now.
Wow.
I've worked with a bunch of companies around the world, indie and double A, mostly indie. And yeah, I just like 3 days ago I launched a game called Desktop Fishes, which is like a widget interactive wallpaper game where you have like fishes swimming around your desktop. You can feed them, you can breed them. It's a cool little game, an idle game. Yep. And yeah, I just spent like the last 8 months working on it on my spare time when I have time because I do work with other companies
Okay.
in full time.
Yep.
But yeah, that's me.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. I think the very first thing that's on my mind is I feel like I was one of the ones who bought Rusty's desktop game immediately when it came out because I immediately seen, oh, this is something different. Like these desktop widget games I've never seen
Yeah.
before in my life. Did, were you inspired by that? Did you see Rusty when it first came out? Like, what was your intersection
Yeah.
with that one?
So honestly, it was not something that I saw that it existed. So the reason
Wow.
why I made this game is around 6 months ago. I was in an airport just waiting for my plane. Like I had 3 hours to spare, and I kept thinking in my head, could you have a widget on your screen and be like a game or something like that? And I just like in the airport started exploring. I basically made the first fish and all the logic in that 3 hour time, and I figured out
Wow.
how to make it run on the desktop. And I just made a little prototype and saved it, and that was it. And a friend of mine, also a game dev, he told me, "Hey, you should post that little prototype that you did
Yeah.
on Twitter." And I said, "Sure, why not?" I posted that, and it completely blew up. Like it had, I
Wow.
don't know, a million likes or something like that. Like I even had the official Windows Twitter account made
I
a
seen
like a
that.
yeah, they made a fan art for the game, and I was
Wow.
like, shit, now I'll have to make this game.
I gotta follow through with this.
Yeah. So it
Wow.
was kind of random. I wasn't like too interested in it. It was just a prototype and experiment, but I kept working on it, and now it's released. It
Yeah.
took me about 6 months. So yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's interesting because I guess that goes into my next question. Were you able to make that game without Steam, or does Steam kind of help with the desktop games? Is that like,
Well,
does that
no,
help
no,
the
no.
ecosystem, or is like literally a desktop widget literally its own app that you
Yeah,
built?
it has nothing to do with Steam. Actually,
Okay.
I implemented the Steamworks platform into the game like a week before release, and I made
Wow. Okay.
achievements and all that. So the way that I'm doing it is basically it's fairly complex, but you can access the Windows API through code and
Yeah.
basically tell Windows to, hey, just render this on top of other things or behind other things. It's not super complex, but yeah, there are some plugins out there that you can check out. I actually started with one of those plugins, but it didn't met all my requirements,
Hmm.
so I ended up having to do my own stuff. But there's one called Dystopia. Yeah, you can find it on itch.io, uh, and you can like start from there and see where it leads you. Yeah.
Wow. I'm looking at it right now. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
because, like I said, I seen. I've been intrigued by it because I mean I'll let you speak on it. Like idlers in general, I feel like have always had a good spot in gaming. Like I always remind people about the cookie clicker. Like cookie clicker
Mhm.
was legendary at my high school. Like everybody was
Yeah,
showing their score. Like and it was like, what the heck is this? Like so I guess now with these desktop idlers,
yeah,
like you said, they're actually a lot more complex than what we
yeah,
used to
yeah,
think of idlers back then.
yeah, yeah. Actually, well, I think one of the most popular now is one called Bongo Cat. I don't know if you've seen it, but
I don't think so.
yeah, it's basically like a little cat that sits at your taskbar and it just taps the taskbar every time that you press a button on your keyboard, and it keeps count of
Wow.
how many
Oh,
keystrokes.
I do remember
Yeah,
this.
yeah, that's one of the most popular one, but it's very very simple. I just saw that they added co-op multiplayer to that game. I don't know how it works,
What?
but yeah. And recently, there has been a lot of these desktop games, and some are very complex. Actually, like
Yes.
most of them, what I've seen is that they are mostly managers, like economy-based games where you
Okay.
manage economy and stuff like that.
Yes.
But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
So that's what I was like. Rusty's farm. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's theirs is like a farm. Like you're literally
Yeah,
managing an entire farm on your desktop, which is like it's cool, but it's something I just would have never thought that like
yeah,
people would be spending money on today. So, all right, you launched, it's out. Have you seen a
yeah.
lot of people come back that show that initial interest, or have you had to do some muscle work to kind of bring people back? Like, hey, y'all, it's out now.
Yeah, well, this is my first Steam launch. I all my career I've been in mobile or even consoles, but and
Okay.
I've never launched something on my own on Steam. So this is all new to me. But I can tell you, I launched with around 11,000 wish list or something like that.
Wow.
I mean, it has only passed 3 days, but out of those, like thousands of them have converted to sales.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how many more will convert to sales. Maybe more will, maybe less. I don't know. But also one thing that I've seen is that the wishlist count keeps growing. So that was interesting to me. I thought that like you gotta build up your wish list, and when you launch, that's it.
Yeah.
Wishes don't matter, but I think they do. They keep growing, growing, growing. So yeah, it's interesting.
It's funny you say that because my wish, my community, they hate me because I buy games like it is like part of my job, like because like I just don't I don't know when to stop as far as
Yeah,
like I just want to try that. I just want to try that. So that is my
yeah,
wish list. My wish list is games I probably will buy today or 5 months from now. Like I
right,
there's
right.
no in between. So like it is interesting you say that because like I have games on my wish list that released years ago and it's just cuz somebody told me about it or
Mm-hmm,
I seen it on Twitter and it's like I just bought 2 games last week. I don't need to buy another
mm-hmm.
game this week. So it
Yeah,
goes on the
yeah,
wish list. So that's interesting. So 1,000 out of about 10,000, 11,000.
yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Um, how have
Yeah, but
the
it's interesting because I have a Discord community, and in
yeah
there I've been getting. I mean, it's only been 3 days, but I've been getting a lot of feedback that all of that feedback I think makes sense.
yeah
So, like in the last 3 days, I've been pushing updates patch
I've
after
seen
patch
that.
after
I've
patch.
seen that.
Yeah, trying to mostly fix bugs, but eventually I want to keep adding more features. Like I've gotten just yesterday, I got a review. It was like 30 hours of gameplay, and the review was bad game, and I was like,
Of
okay,
course, of
but
course.
but with what some of what they said, it made sense.
Hmm.
They were like, if you have over 300 fishes, the game will crash. And I was like, yeah, of course it will crash.
Yeah.
But I think I gotta figure out a way to fix the game for those type of players, to let you have thousand if they want.
Oh my
So yeah, it's
god.
been interesting. It's been interesting. Like right now, I'm trying to come up with a plan for the next few months, and keep posting updates so that the game manages to work even if you're new or if you've been playing it for 100 hours. Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
like that.
yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
That's always a crazy thing. So like I some more background on me. Like I'm very new to this game development
Mm,
journey. I did my first game jam this year, and like I'm very just introductory level.
right.
And something I do always laugh about is you do build, sometimes you have to build things for people that will break it because you
Yeah.
haven't even taken it, you know what I mean, that far or thought that was even possible. So like play testing, did you get a lot of play tests going into launch?
Uh, not really. I mean, I gave it to a couple of friends,
Mhm.
and they tried to broke it as much as they could, and
Yep.
that was it.
Yep.
I mean, I'm a solo dev, and yeah, it was that was about what I could do. I did play the game a lot. I have over 200 hours on record on Steam
Okay.
of my own. So I did a lot of playtesting myself. Some friends helped me, but I didn't have like a beta launch with playtesters from around the world, something like that. No,
Yeah.
it was just too complex for me to figure out, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
No,
I,
that,
I,
that makes
I
sense.
launched the game, I think, in a pretty stable matter.
Hmm.
Also, like from my previous games, I worked on a mobile games company, and in there they had I work in a lot of idlers there, so I had like in terms of game design, I knew what would work, what wouldn't work, and stuff like that. So I like took that experience and brought it here. So
Which
yeah,
is
it was
helpful.
interesting.
That's helpful. I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
always feel bad that I don't have a game development background, but I do have
Mm.
like website development background, and
Right,
like you know
right.
what I mean. Like I do have some skills that I bring into my game development, and I think that's important. Like there's a lot
Yeah,
of people that try to go out of their strengths because something is trending or something is the hottest thing out, and it's like you could be
yeah, yeah, yeah.
successful really zoning in on what you're already good at and knowledgeable in.
Yeah, actually, it's funny that you say that because web development, I think it's pretty similar to UI development,
Okay.
and that's one of the things I'm worst.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I, like doing UI development is something that I do not enjoy at all, and I can like look at my game and see that in there. Like
Yeah.
I try to do as little buttons as possible. Like I try to avoid doing pop-ups and all of that stuff
Yep.
because I don't think that I'm a super good UI designer. Uh, so yeah, it's funny that everyone has their strengths. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
it's funny you say you're not good at UI design because I could probably if I had a nickel every time a game developer told me that was not their their strong suit. I'm like, I don't think UI is fun for anybody. Like that's like UI is really, really hard because like
yeah,
what has helped me with that is like I've always just looked back historically
mm,
or just looked at other games that are kind of in the same category that have been successful. I guess for you, like when you did start getting close to launch, were you starting to look at other games like, okay, what do they have that I don't have, or was you were
yeah.
you very tunnel focused? Because I've heard both sides.
Mhm. Yeah, honestly, so I tried. Yeah, it's a funny thing. Basically, when I was building the entire game, I tried to look as little references as I could.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't open Pinterest to look at pixel art, or I
Mm-hmm.
didn't play any games because I think that at the end of the day, games are a work of art, and I
Yep.
think that the the beauty of it is that you can like take the art out of your body and paste it into the screen.
It's
And I
insane.
feel, yeah, I feel like if you start to consume other people's art, maybe you're gonna be grabbing their stuff and pasting it onto your game
Mm,
without even noticing. So I am a purist, and I try to avoid doing that. Like I don't look at reference. I just like I don't even like if I'm drawing fishes or whatever. I
mhm.
don't even look at reference of those. I just try to figure out of my mind because that's something that I enjoy, and I like to like paste my personality into the thing.
Yes.
But when I'm done with all the art and all the design, I did like the last month I played like 20 different idlers just to see what they're doing and to try to measure them against mine and see what I can improve from there. But like I feel like the essence of me is in there. Now I can look at the others and see what I can improve on mine that they're already doing great and I'm not doing great. So Yeah, it's a mix of both, I think.
I love that answer.
Yeah.
I love that answer. Short story, but I caught myself developing on Roblox for a few years.
Mm,
It was nice because I was learning a lot, but that was
mm,
something that was lost on Roblox more recently. Of like
right.
people are purely copying other works of art and
Yeah, yeah,
trying to find the most maximum way they can get money out of it. And
yeah, yeah.
and I didn't understand why I was so offended by that until I did start my own solo project, and I'm like, "That's what it was." Like, I wasn't gonna be
Mm,
rewarded off of my art style, my 3D models. I wasn't gonna
yeah.
get rewarded for none of that, where I feel like a game that you develop on your own, it like, people actually enjoy that. People enjoy opening up your game and being like, "Oh, this is him. Like he made this game. Like
Yeah.
everything about this is from his development." And I love that answer. That makes a lot of sense, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that one of the reasons why I do it might sound because I just love art and that's it. I mean, I do, but
Yeah.
one of the reasons is because in today's market, I think that it's a very crowded market. Like on Steam, many games released per day. I don't know, like 20 or 30 or something like
Is
that.
a insane amount.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that in order to stand out, you have to do stuff in a unique way. You need to figure out something that is unique to you, and that's why I try to do it like that. Because if I go out and look at other games and try to copy what they're doing, my game might end up feeling too samey and might like disappear among the others. So
Yep.
I don't know if it's actually something that really works or not, but it's just how I like to do it.
That makes sense to me. I'm about to say, like, I think
Yeah.
anybody who builds these followings around games and
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean, builds the support around games is because they something connected in that game for them to be like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
it's not a wide variety. Oh, I love all these games together. It's like, no, this is one of them ones. And I think that's important. I think that's like I feed that through everything that I do. Like if I post a graphic on my Instagram, like I
Mm.
want something to feel like it's me. Like I put it
Yeah.
up there. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
very cool, very cool. I do want to ask, like, you talked about Twitter. Like I said, I seen
Hmm.
you've gotten some really good engagement on Twitter. You have a Discord. What is marketing for you moving forward? Is it kind of
Mm.
just how you've been moving now, where you throw some updates on Twitter, you'll talk to your Discord? Like, has the strategy changed much from when that
Hmm.
viral moment happened?
Yeah. So it's been kind of a wild ride for me because so the reason why I have a lot of followers on Twitter is not precisely because of games.
Hmm.
I would say probably most of my following are game devs, not gamers.
And I've heard
So
this. Yep.
yeah, around like when it was the pandemic, around 5 years ago, I started posting. Like I wanted to learn shader graph, basically, like doing shader development,
Hmm.
and there were not a lot of tutorials out there for super beginners like me at the time. So I started like I have really bad memory.
Okay.
So what I started doing was like recording my screen of my experiments to understand what I did. And I started like learning shader graph by experimenting and stuff like that. And then one day I thought like maybe I should post these videos or something, and I started posting like the shader graph tutorials in a 60-second like cut up way. Like I would just cut the relevant part and
Yeah.
put like subtitles of what I'm doing, and I would post like under 60-second tutorial of shader graph,
Wow.
and that's what actually blew up. Like my first video got, I don't know, 1 million views or 2 million views, something like that in on Twitter. And I started posting those pretty regularly. I posted like one every week or 2 weeks for around 6 or 7 months, and that's how I grew up some following on Twitter. But
Yeah.
after that, so I got contacted by a bunch of different companies, and I started working for companies doing shader development. So I
Wow.
didn't, yeah, I didn't felt like I needed to keep posting on Twitter, because I was just too busy.
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically my account just lived there with the amount of following that it had, and that was it. And then at the start of this year is when I started posting about games themselves, not really game development, but
Hmm.
just like, hey, I'm making this game. So it started to shift a little from what I was doing before. Honestly, I'm just experimenting all the time. I don't know if like should I post a technical thing or should I post a like a gamey thing to deal with the Twitter algorithm.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying throwing sticks at the wall, seeing
Yep.
what sticks.
Yep.
that's uh, that's basically what I'm doing all the time.
I'll tell you right now, what you said is no different from a lot of people. Like
Yeah,
first of all, I love that story of you saying like you were recording videos so you could remember what you were working on
yeah,
and how that turned into like legitimate work. And that's crazy to me.
yeah.
That's such a cool background. But I think where marketing has moved towards, and I am a traditional marketer. I graduated
Mhm.
with a marketing degree 2018. So I can literally sit here and confidently tell you what was taught to us in textbooks 2018 is not that relevant anymore because
Mhm.
of how social media is moving every
Yeah.
single day. It changes, the trends change. The dev on Twitter just pushed an
Mhm.
update to GitHub last night. Like there's so
Mhm.
many things that are happening at once where like if you look at what marketing looks like now, it is an experiment. Like literally, it's I'm gonna
Yeah.
post this one day, I'm gonna post this the next day. Out of those two things, something might work. But I think what I've been telling people, like I feel like is what is most important is you are at least experimenting. I
Mhm.
think a lot of
Yeah.
people get stuck in I posted this day at this time and it didn't work. And it's like, okay, so what are
Yeah.
you gonna do next?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally get that. Like, if I just followed traditional marketing, I would be like a TikToker with posting games of
Exactly.
every single day or something like that. But I mean, you should do what you feel comfortable doing and what you like doing. Like for example, me personally, I don't use TikTok at all. I do use YouTube a lot, but I don't feel like I like. I mean, I don't love video editing, so I guess I should be like making game devlogs and stuff like that to show the progress of the game and market it that way. But I just don't like doing that. So I've like most of my marketing, I've been doing it with Twitter, and that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe some Reddit too. Like I do, one of the things that has worked for me has been doing like ask me anything posts on Reddit.
Okay.
Also doing giveaways, that also works a lot for me. Um, but yeah, out of that, I don't think that I do a lot more than that. One thing that I can tell you, for example, for this game, I did run ads. For example,
Okay.
I didn't spend too much. I mean, relatively speaking, I
Yeah.
spent around $1,000
Okay.
in ads. In YouTube, Twitter, Google, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Like I
Wow.
tried all
Covered
the
everything.
platforms.
Yep.
Yeah, I tried all the platforms. Basically, none of them converted to wishlist or anything. Like
Dang.
yeah, like the conversion rate out of those platforms is very very small.
Yeah.
Maybe for some other games it works. I don't know, but for me it didn't work at all. Like out of the 100% of people who saw the ads,
Yeah.
maybe 3 or 4% converted to wish lists. I think
Wow.
it's not worth it. And out of those wish lists, I wonder how many will convert to sales, right? I guess like 1% of the 4% or something like that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I was gonna ask you about ads because I, I I have a love hate with ads. Once again, me
Yeah.
being a person that works in marketing full time, because like ads don't save you. That's always how I've been in marketing. Is like an ad is not gonna save you. An ad kind of supplements, maybe you have a few days where you're working on content or something
Hmm.
where, yes, you'll have some ads running to get you some clicks while you're like busy. You know what I mean? Actually
Yeah,
moving your time somewhere else. But I think organic is just always just the preferred
yeah,
route, and it's so easy to test at a low cost, and like I just feel like it's just always just a better feeling
yeah,
once you
yeah.
do actually get people to click and move to your game.
Yeah, I guess it mostly depends on the game. Like,
Yeah.
I'm guessing that there are a lot of games out there that do work with ads. Like, because if it wasn't like that, nobody would be doing it,
Nobody
right?
would do it. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. But at least for me, it like what I've tried to do is just be as open as possible, post as much as I can,
Yep.
as frequently as possible, and that's it.
Yeah.
And try to do. I'm trying to do something interesting. I think that's the key. If you're doing something interesting, people will follow you, and
Yeah.
that's about it.
Which the only way you're gonna be interesting is what we just talked about. If you are completely authentically you, like if
Yeah,
you're trying to be like the next 10 other devs,
yeah, yeah,
I don't know. So like very, very cool. I love that advice. Um, I do want to ask you, Mexico.
yeah.
I've had a lot of literally I've had someone from Africa on here,
Mm,
had someone in America, I have someone from Mexico now. What is the game dev scene like in
mm,
Mexico? Because I mean, America is everybody says it's a cash machine.
yeah.
People come here to make stuff to make money. End of story. Is Mexico? Is there a good dev scene in Mexico? Like I don't even know of a lot of major games that have came out of there.
Yeah, I mean, there are, of course, there are not as many as they are in other parts of the world, Europe or
Hmm.
America or something.
Hmm.
The community is rather small. Like, I'm in the southern part of Mexico,
Okay.
and I know all the devs from this area. Like, we
Wow.
have a WhatsApp group, and it's less than 60 of us in there.
Wow.
And yeah, everyone is in like in their own genre, different types of games. In and then I guess like in the entire country, Mexico is a really big country, 130 million people.
Yeah.
So there is a game dev scene here, but it's very small compared to other places.
Yeah.
There are some successful games out there, but they are not as frequent.
Hmm.
What is frequent is that there are Mexican game releases, but not all of them are like super huge. That's the thing. But what I like about here is that since we're such a small community, like everyone helps each other, and everyone plays the games between each other, and we give advice as much as we can, and
I
we
love
try
that.
to gather up and be friends with everyone as much as we can. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a cool thing.
I love that. Um, because I'm in Ohio.
Mm,
And my part of Ohio is there are not a lot of I hate to say this, but there's not a lot of successful game devs.
yeah.
And I'm saying that as honest as possible of
Mm,
like, yes, I can learn from a lot of people and connect with a lot of people, but
mhm.
like if I can look at your game and know that that is not a good game, like you know what I mean? It's hard to truly grow that
Yeah.
relationship. And I don't know if like that is that something that helps your guys' community because you guys are actually pushing each other to be better game developers.
Yeah, well, I think that the main issue here in Mexico is that there is a lot of talent, but a lot of it goes out of the country to work in foreign companies
Oh,
because there isn't like in many of the Mexican companies the budget aren't huge. The budget is not huge,
yeah.
so for example, I work for a company in the U.S. I work remotely. That's my main job, and I've been doing that for the past 5 years. Previously, I used to work for a company in Australia. I worked there for 5 years.
Hmm.
I was working on the game. It recently released a Lego Party. It
Okay,
was a game, yeah, but SMG Studio. That's the name of it.
let's
And
go.
yeah. I was doing their shader development and VFX and stuff like that. But like a lot of my friends here in Mexico that are like really good, they just work remotely with some other companies because the budgets are
Way
better
better. Yep.
outside of yeah. Like here, for example, I know that for example in Australia there are like these. budget funds for just making games that you can be a developer and make a team, and the government will give you some money and you'll be able to build a company with that. Stuff like that. I know that in the US there's also stuff like that too.
Yep. Yep.
Here in Mexico, it exists, but it's very small, and very few people can benefit from something like that. So you either gotta start your own company or start like saving up money and doing it on your own somehow, or just like try to join one of the three, four big companies here in Mexico,
Yeah.
or just go out and get a remote job from somewhere else around the world. So it's I don't know.
Oh
It's one
my
of those things
goodness.
that happens. Yeah.
Gosh. I
Yeah.
love it though. I love it though because it's not easy. And I
It's
think
not.
I think that was something I realized when I first started getting into coding and game
Mm.
development and meeting people and networking like people with like you, where it's like it takes a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that goes into my next question for you. I mean, you said you've worked for a few companies that have bigger budgets and bigger teams, and you still wanted to release your own game. Was that
Yeah.
important to you? Like what why? You know what I mean? Your time is limited. You don't have a lot of time during the day.
Yes, that's something that I also wonder every day. Um, no, yeah, like prior to release, I can tell you, like the week before release, I was sleeping like 2 hours a day, and I
Oh
was
my
like, I
gosh.
started, I worked on my day job the 8 hours that I had to, then I had dinner, and then I would work all night and would go to sleep at 8 a.m. or something like that. Would wake up at 10 a.m. and would be continue working. I That was the only way that I could release the game. And why I did that, I don't know. I think it's like making games for me. It's addictive. It's the way for me to express my art, to
Yeah.
express who I am. So I don't know why it's like that, but I just can't stop doing it.
Yeah.
Like even before releasing this game, I've been the last month thinking of my next game, and I'm already planning what I'm going to do. I haven't sit down and do it yet, but it's always my mind is always running. It's always thinking of the next game, the next
Yeah.
thing to do. But yeah, it's I don't know why.
No,
Yeah,
I
I don't
think
know
that's
why.
it. I think that's it. Like it's you found something you enjoy doing, not only in a pay my bills type of way, but
No, yeah,
also a you know what I mean, a way of entertainment, a way
yeah,
of purpose, a way of doing something outside of just
yeah,
everyday life, and I think that's important. Because
yeah,
I asked that because when I did my first game jam, I didn't know what I was doing. Like I was like, this should be easy.
yeah.
And I had one of those nights, like something crashed and you know what I mean? One of my friends I was asking questions to, he was asleep, so I didn't get an answer from him. Like I felt it. I felt what it was like where it's like you can just stop now. You can just give up
Mm,
now. You don't have to finish it. And it was
yeah,
just something in me that I was like, nah, like this is fun. Like I really want to see this through. I want to get to the end of this.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's the answer there where it's like it's game development is fun. It's fun when you get past that surface level of like, yeah, you gotta learn some coding, you gotta learn some graphic design, whatever. But like
Yeah.
it's a lot of work that goes into it that I think you eventually just get past that cusp of like this is something I just truly enjoy to do, like you said, and
Yeah.
express myself.
Yeah. So, for example, like I started working on, like, I started learning about game development when I was 15. Now I'm 29.
Okay.
And I've never stopped doing it. I've been doing it since high school.
For a
Uh,
while,
I,
yeah.
I went to university to study something that relates to game development, but it doesn't at the same time. It's called interactive design. So
Okay.
it's kind of like graphic design and coding merged into one thing. And while I was studying that, I was making games. Then after school, I started a company with some friends and I kept making games there. And then I left that and started working remotely for other companies. So I think that it's been almost 15 years, And just now, I feel like I'm confident enough to release something on Steam on my own,
Yeah.
because game development is really hard.
Yes.
It's really, really hard. That's a lot that you need to learn. You need to know how to do. It's such a huge, like, the ones. I don't know if you've seen the movie Indie Game the movie, something like that. It's called.
Somebody literally recommended me that on this
Yeah.
podcast already. I need to watch it.
Yeah, there's a quote in that movie. I don't remember who says it, but they say that doing video games is like a modern miracle,
It
because
really is.
there's a lot that you need to learn. There's a lot that need to work together in order for the game just to exist. And if you put on top of that that it also needs to sell and to be successful, it's like a miracle when that happens. So it's something that I enjoy. I enjoy the challenge, and I enjoy, like, all the time learning, try to learn new things and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun.
That no, that's
Yeah.
so somebody once like asked like just about indie developments of like
Mhm.
if the game doesn't do well. You put in all this work, effort, time, hours, and the game flops. The game is just
Mhm.
absolutely terrible. And like you can see this conversation. I swear, like you said, you're on Reddit. You'll probably see that type of Reddit post every couple of weeks of like,
Yeah.
guys, what can I do? What did I do wrong? What
Mhm.
is going on? And like every time I see that, like me starting this journey of learning what it is to get to a game release, like it doesn't discourage me because I feel like once again, like a lot of people have all these different objectives and goals that they're trying to reach and hit. And like one thing you haven't mentioned, a sales goal yet or a revenue goal
Yeah.
or this is the game that's gonna, feed my family. Like you've literally spoke through this whole podcast saying like, nah, like I was doing this to express myself. Like I was doing this because like I truly enjoy it. Like every time I see those posts, I think that. I literally
Yeah.
think that because like the first thing you did when your game wasn't doing well is run to Reddit to say, "Hey, I did all this. Where's my sales at?" And it's like,
Mhm.
I don't know if that's the best way to approach that.
Yeah. No, yeah, I totally get that. Yeah. I mean, of course, it's super valid to be like making games is your way of getting money.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, if games didn't make money, I wouldn't be working like 20 hours a day to
Yes.
finish the
Yep.
fishes. But for me, one of the reasons why I didn't really care about like marketing benches and stuff like that for the step
Hmm.
fishes is because I have a day job in game dev already. So I feel like I'm taking a pretty safe bet in general.
Yep.
Like, probably if I didn't have a day job in a game dev company, I wouldn't be developing the game the way that I'm doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be really different. But I don't know. It really depends on the person. On I'm also young. I don't have kids, stuff like that, so I can just do what I want and that's it.
Yeah.
But I can totally understand. Like, I have friends who are like older and have kids, and they need to really take uh, careful steps into what they do develop, because at the end of the time, it takes a lot of work and time.
Yeah.
Like, you could be working on a game for 3 4 years. That's It's insane. Yeah, yeah. I
Good
like,
Lord.
even the amount of time that I worked on desktop fishes. I worked on it for 6 months. If it was up to me, I would have worked on it less time. Maybe I would like to release it in like 3 months or something like that. But
Yeah.
I had some friends give me some advice about how to release on Steam. Like, you gotta go into Next Fest, and in Next Fest you get a certain amount of wishlists and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, sure, let's do
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because I'm also not dumb. I'm not blind. If they're telling me that your game's gonna flop if you don't do
If
Next
you don't
Fest,
do
and
these steps, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's do it like that way. But yeah, it was interesting. It also, like, for example, Next Fest was last month,
Hmm.
and uh, like previously to last month, there were not a lot of desktop games out there. Like there were a bunch, but not as many. And now today, I feel like I'm seeing a new desktop game like every day.
I, hey,
Yeah,
like I said, when I seen yours, the only last desktop game I could think of was the Rusty game because
yeah,
it had its own viral moment.
yeah,
And
yeah,
literally, I clicked the little idle tag on your game, and I'm like, oh, there's hundreds of these.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there are a ton of these. But I wanted to go back to what you were saying. Just
Mhm,
you have a job as well, and that kind
mhm.
of helped you take that more safe bet. And
Yeah.
I actually talk about that with my community as well.
Mhm,
I got monetized on YouTube around like 2022.
mhm,
Um, and I was asked that. Like I literally had like 2,000 subscribers, and somebody asked me, like,
mhm,
are you gonna go full time? I'm like,
mhm.
no. Like, I was like, I have no reason to go full time whatsoever. Like,
Yeah, of
once again,
course.
this is just something I do in my free time. I just enjoy doing it. If I get some crazy check after, I mean, after one of these
Yeah,
videos, maybe, but like, that's never crossed my mind of like, when can I go full time? When can I, you know what
yeah,
I mean? When can I really make this break? It's always been like, how, with the time that I have, what's the highest quality I can put out?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm focused on my career, because I'm, like you said, I have a wife. I'm focused on my marriage.
mhm.
Like, and I think that's important. I think that's important to say, like, when you are making these bets, like, what you're focused on, I think really goes into it. And I think like a lot of these games, like you said, it really depends on the person, their living situation, the, you know what I
Yeah,
mean, the team that they have, the community that they have. Like, there's so many things to, once again, not be discouraged about. Like, and I think that's something I took with me is like, I'm not discouraged if, you know what I mean, like you said, you
yeah,
have 30 game devs that you can hit up at any given time. Like, that doesn't discourage me. To me, that means, okay, I need to go meet some people. Like, so like, I think that's something that I've always tell my community is like, you can't put yourself directly against somebody.
mhm.
You gotta learn what works the best for you. And it sounds like that's basically what you described when you were getting
Yeah,
your game
and
out.
also I would say team up like be like for desktop fishes. I'm a solo dev, but
Mhm.
this is my first solo dev game. I've worked in teams of 100 people and in teams of 3, 5 people.
Yep.
Uh, I think that you gotta look at the game and really like critique yourself and figure out if you're able to do the things that the game needs, or if you can't do it and you need to team up with someone.
Mm.
Like if you're just starting out, doing solo dev, it's, I would say, almost impossible. Like
Yeah.
there are games out there that are released by solo devs, and it's like, oh, I'm 10 years old and this is my first game. I made it in 3 months and it made
Yep.
$10 million. Yeah, there are games like that. But that's not the norm. Like
No,
I would
at all.
say most of the people, they should like meet people and be friends with people and try to team up and try to learn from each other. That's
Yep.
the fastest way to do it. Like
Yeah.
almost every day I join my Discord and I talk with different types of dev. Some of them are like 3D focused, some of them are programmers, and we just talk about stuff and learn
Yeah.
from each other.
Yeah.
That's the only way of doing it. Like actually, I started coding like around 7 years ago, but I learned coding just from talking with a dev who is a proper coder. Like,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, like I spent so much time with that friend talking about code that I felt like I already knew how to code. I just needed to learn the keywords and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty
Wow.
important
And and
to.
and what's even like, I always tell people too, like, I mean, like I said, just from a marketing perspective, like, I think when you are an expert in a field, you're able to talk in a you're able to dumb it down, and you're
Mhm.
able to talk to someone at their skill level because you know the skill levels to get to. And like you said,
Yeah.
in game development, that's so important because like I always tell people when I first opened up Godot, I
Mhm.
thought I was looking at alien technology. I thought I
Yeah.
was looking at something that did not exist on this planet. Like I was like, it didn't match Photoshop, it didn't match Adobe Premiere, DaVinci, it didn't match anything that I've been in the software
Yeah.
for years. And like you said, just a simple like, I know somebody who uses Godot. Like,
Hmm.
tell me the basics right now because I don't know what I'm looking at. And like, and I do think that is very, very important
Yeah.
for sure.
Totally. 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 So you're mainly on Godot,
Yes, that's what I'm developing on. That's what I'm developing my first indie game on.
right?
And it's been a lot of fun because what I came from was, like I said, I probably spent about 2 years on Roblox.
Hmm.
I was helping with other teams. I was helping with my own games. Like Roblox taught me structure. And I
Right.
always give it credit for that. It taught me clean structure on what does it look like to collaborate? What does it look like to,
Hmm.
like you said, commission and all of that stuff? And like I love that experience. And what when I seen Godot in the community that it kind of had around it, of like it was a lot of people that was just like, I wanna know what it's like to make my own video game. And I think
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
how I ended up there. And like I tried Unities, I tried the Unreals, and they all felt too professional and
Yeah.
way above my skill rate. And when I started really like making a button and making a volume knob, and I was like, oh, this is actually
Mm.
really simple. And that was kind of where I was like, okay, I think this is where I'm gonna settle down at for my next one.
Right. No, yeah, that makes sense. Myself, I'm working on Unity,
Okay.
but the only reason why I'm doing it is because that was the engine that was around 15 years ago,
Yep.
and I've been using it all this time.
Yep.
I did try Game Maker, and it was fun, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been meaning to try Godot for a while now, and I've opened it and moved things around, but I feel like I don't know, I'm in
It
an alien
you
software.
having Unreal experience, I'm telling you, you would pick it up very quickly. Like you would pick it up
Right,
because it's almost like people who are switching are helping it progress. Like
right,
since I've been on it, there's been major updates
right.
because someone like you opened it up and was like, "Hold on, y'all missing something very small that like
Yeah.
should be obvious." And okay, they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll throw it in there, whatever."
Mm,
And I think it just being free, like in my own community, I've
mhm.
had people who have downloaded it just because
Right.
they found out it was free and they've seen other people use it. And like I said, it's just that community that's been built around beginners is
Yeah.
amazing. And like you
Yeah.
said, a program who has devs on it that are 15 years on it, 20 years on it, it's like I it's weird for me to get on those platforms because I would have to start from square one, and square one
Yeah.
ain't even been update in the updates the last 4 years. You know what I mean? Where it's just
Yeah. Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah. I guess that the only reason for me to use Godot is to make things fun again, because
Yes,
a
I've
lot of
heard that. I've
yeah,
heard that. Yep.
yeah, in Unity, a lot of things that I do feel like boilerplate. Like I'm just robotically
Yep.
doing
Yep.
stuff
Yep.
that I like. I don't know, building UI. I'm just clicking stuff. I'm not having fun doing it.
Yes.
But maybe learning UI in Godot might be a fun time. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
not.
No, I love that because what's it called? Have you heard of the platform Essenbox? Essenbox.
No, I haven't.
It's the people who made Gary's Mod. They're
Okay.
making their own like game development type platform, like a Roblox type thing.
Right.
And
Interesting.
I feel like that's the mindset they're going into it with is like, yo, hop on here and make some random platformer with a 3D model that you took 5 minutes on. And
Right.
you know what I
Which
mean? Just do something fun to kind of
right. Can you say that the name
yes,
of that platform?
it's S literally S and like the actual like ampersand sign box.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna take a look at that. Yeah, it
Yes.
looks interesting.
Yes. And
Hmm.
like I think that's the whole mindset they're going into it with is like, hey, you can have, all the experience in the world, but like come on here and play the goofiest game you could think of. Cause I feel like it breaks it almost opens something up in your
Yeah,
creativity when you do stuff
totally.
like this.
Wow. Yeah, I'm looking at it. It looks really fun.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And like that was something I liked about Roblox when I first got on it.
Mhm.
Was like a lot of things aren't taken so serious on there. Like I said, until the last year or two, where it's like, if your game ain't making money, you might no one might ever find it. So
Yeah.
that's where I was like a program like Box, Godot. Like there's no discoverability on Godot, but like
Mm.
that's a platform where like that's where you said the website earlier where people upload their like early accesses and betas and stuff. Itch.io.
Yeah.
A platform like that is now getting
Mm.
way more momentum now where it's like people are just let me see what this game is like. Let me get new
Mhm.
ideas. Let me just mess around for for a
Yeah.
little bit.
This one looks like a really interesting platform. I'll take a look after the call.
Yeah, please do. I have a friend. I'm gonna have to send you his profile. I actually interviewed him on here, Everywhere Nowhere. He does games and makes YouTube videos off of them, and he'll do like survival putt putt or like
All
he
right.
recreated an Olympic game. Like he does like really goofy videos like that I just love because it once again it just unblocks something in your brain where it's like, oh, you don't
Mm.
have to take anything serious if you don't want to.
Mhm. Yeah, 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 yeah. Totally, totally.
So
What I like
Daniel,
about this one,
yeah,
I'm seeing that it has a multiplayer built in.
yes, yeah,
That's
it's
really interesting.
literally very similar to Roblox, where like if you upload your game, it has multiplayer interfaces and stuff already
Hmm.
built into it. Yep.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah. So Daniel, I appreciate your time.
No,
I don't want to
yeah.
take too
Thanks for
much of your
having me.
time. I know you said you was surviving off of 2 hours of sleep a few weeks ago, so I definitely appreciate you making some time. Congratulations again
Thanks.
on releasing your game. Once again, I know that's a huge feat as I've going down my own journey right now. So good luck to you in the
Thank you.
future. If you could please just let us know where to follow you at and anything else about your game, man.
Sure. You can follow me as Daniel Santalla in Twitter. You can also look at my YouTube channel as Daniel Santalla too. I don't post anything there, but you can follow me there too if you
Yep.
want. But yeah, on Twitter, there's my Discord server too. There's a link there. Yeah, you can just ping me whenever, and I'll try to respond back as much as I can. And thanks to you for having me.
Yes.
I love your energy, and I love meeting new people.
Yes, me too. Me too. That's something I've taken serious when I've started this podcast. Is of course when I announced I was doing guests this year, a lot of people close to me was like, when am I getting my episode? And I'm like,
Mm,
I would love to do that, but I was like, I really want to meet new people. I
yeah,
want to understand how other people move and you know what I mean, how they
yeah,
operate. And I think you just get a lot out of that. And once
totally.
again, like I said, I appreciate you making the time. Two, 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 two.